It's a beautiful day and we're reading some Am I Wrong stories today. I've got a fine selection of fun but also concerning stuff to read, and I'm excited and I hope you guys are too. Just the title of the first one. Am I wrong for ending a 20-year marriage because I learned that my wife cheated on me while we were dating? I haven't read this one yet, but I sort of skimmed through it a little bit and I can tell that it gets wild. My wife, 44 female, and I, 43 male, have been married for 20 years. We started dating in high school when I was a junior and she was a senior. We were long distance for her first 2 years at college while I was in high school and did 1 year at community college. Then we went to college in the same city for a year and have lived together ever since. We got married the summer after I graduated college. Our marriage has been pretty great so far, but I initiated a divorce after I discovered that she was sleeping with multiple other men for the 2 years that we were long distance. Just after Christmas, we got together with a few friends of hers from college to catch up and have dinner and hang out. We talked about a lot of stuff and my wife mentioned that we met in high school. Not that we dated, just that we met. Her college roommate commented that it was crazy that we met in high school, had a few wild years in college, and then ended up together. I played along and I commented that I didn't know if my wife was as crazy as I was. The roommate started to tell a story, but my wife cut her off and said that she was uncomfortable about it. I sensed something was up, so I said that we actually started dating in high school and we were together for my wife's entire time at college. All of my wife's friends got really quiet and the rest of the dinner was so awkward. On the way out, one of her other roommates took me aside and said that I should have an honest conversation about what had happened at college. I asked my wife on the way home and she kind of blew me off. I told her it was important that she was honest with me, and again she said that it wasn't important. When we got home, I told her that I was going to stay at my brother's house until she was ready to talk about what happened in college. The next day she came over and admitted to sleeping with several men during her first 2 years at college. She said that she didn't consider it a big deal at the time because we were long distance. Oh my god. And she didn't think a high school romance would last. How awful. I pressed her for more details and she said that it was at least 10 different men, including at least 3 guys she introduced to me as friends when I came to visit on weekends, and 1 guy that she was still in contact with. I told her that I wanted a divorce and I'd be starting the paperwork as soon as I could, which I did on January 2nd. Her family and most of my family is telling me that I shouldn't throw away my marriage over a few mistakes. That is not a few mistakes. If OP knew how morally questionable this person is, they never would have got together. I have stood by my belief that cheating on me with multiple men for years is unacceptable no matter when it happened, and the fact that she continued to maintain relationships with these guys right in front of me was an unacceptable amount of disrespect. We've got 2 children, but are 17 and 19, and I believe that they'll understand why I need to end the marriage. Am I wrong for leaving? I feel like I'm going crazy with the amount of people telling me to overlook years of infidelity and decades of lies. Of course you're not the a-hole. That is so heartbreaking. Like, I don't even know what to say. Acting like it doesn't matter is absolutely wild. And also, if your wife didn't feel like it was a big deal back then, I'm almost certain she's been cheating the whole time. I don't think that would be hard to believe. Maybe not, and it doesn't really even change anything, but that would not be surprising. Edit. Holy crap, I'm glad I did this with a throwaway because the response here is unexpected. I obviously can't answer every question or comment, but I wanted to provide some detail for the common questions. The reason I posted this is that my wife and a few friends have been saying that it's common to sleep with other folks when you're in a long distance relationship. What are they talking about? And that I'm kind of the odd one out for not sleeping around. Oh, I'm the odd one out for being respectful and loyal? That is so messed up. And of course, all of her friends are also cheaters. I felt like I was being gaslit, but I wanted an outside perspective. We live in a state that has a waiting period to finalize a divorce, so I felt it was a reasonable idea to get some sort of insight before things are finalized. After these comments, I see a handful of folks saying that it's normal to sleep around during a long distance relationship, but that seems to be a significant minority. Definitely OP. That is just cheating. It's no different, and they just want to justify it. We saw each other a couple of weekends a month during the 2-year college period. I lived about 3 hours away from her college, so it was long distance, but not like cross country. 3 hours away. That's not long distance. This was not a situation where we went months without seeing each other. Yeah, that is absolutely ridiculous. That's not really a long distance relationship at all. Oh my god, what a piece of crap. Yuck, OP, get out of there. I'm so sorry. The guys that I met while she was in college were meetups that happened during parties. The subject of me being a boyfriend didn't really come up, so I honestly didn't know if these guys knew anything. The one guy that we're still in contact with married a mutual friend from college. This is not some guy that she secretly messages on the side. It's somebody that we've talked to regularly for years. I've talked to him a few times since I've learned about my wife. He said that he didn't know that we were dating at the time and has since blocked my wife on social media. Oh, your wife is the worst. And her friends are no better. Some folks have asked how the roommates didn't realize at our wedding that the timelines didn't work out. The main reason is that my wife and I had a very small ceremony with our close family in Texas, then went back to the East Coast to to have a big party with friends. The typical reception and sharing details about how we met stuff didn't really happen. So her roommates didn't realize that we started dating before college. It sounds like they thought that we only dated for the year that we were both in the same city and then moved in together. I was open to therapy or some kind of attempt to save the marriage, but her insistence that this whole thing is common and I'm the one who's out of line is too much for me. That's actually disgusting of her to say. Oh, you're the one in the wrong. You're the one who's out of line, are you, OP? Oh god, this one is infuriating. There is no excuse for this sort of stuff. And for her to throw that back onto you like you've done something wrong, she's evil. The only time she showed any remorse or even offered to reconcile is when I started filing paperwork. In the last week, she's gone back to saying that she's right and I'm overreacting. This is also while I'm feeling like I'm being gaslit. It seems obvious that this is a major issue, but I've got my wife and others telling me that it's normal and I'm overreacting. There's no way to justify this. Betraying you. This one is worse than I expected. Imagine having the audacity to say that this is normal and to say that OP's overreacting. And I guess because the wife also has a whole bunch of crappy friends, they as a friend group feel like it is normal and okay. You know what that reminds me of? Incel forums. Like how in incel forums they say a whole bunch of awful stuff and they all agree with each other. Just because they agree with each other doesn't mean that what they're saying isn't disgusting. It's the exact same as this. Just because you and your trashy friends feel like it's okay, that does not mean it's okay. I'm not getting a paternity test unless my kids want to get one. I don't have any doubts that they're biologically mine, and no test is going to make them not my kids. I love them more than anything in the world, and my wife's infidelity isn't going to change that if one or both of them is not biologically mine. They've been my kids for 19 years, and they'll be my kids until I stop breathing. Hey yo, I've been reading a bunch of the responses, but things are getting crazy, so I probably won't be checking in more. Here's some more answers to common questions I've seen. We were definitely exclusively dating at the time. First, dating culture was a lot different 20-ish years ago, and exclusive was kind of the default for most people. Second, we had a long and difficult discussion before she left for college about continuing the relationship long distance. I can't believe they're calling 3 hours long distance. That's not long distance. 3 hours. And they see each other all the time. She wanted to stay together and even joked about her dad coming after me if I started sleeping around with girls at my school. Okay, but now they're saying that you're the weird one because you didn't sleep around. But back then she joked about her dad coming after me if I started sleeping around with girls at my school. But she was sleeping around with a whole bunch of guys. But now tells you that you're the weird one. Finally, at my senior prom, she was not able to attend because she was very upset when I proposed going with a platonic female friend of mine. As a result, I ended up skipping my prom and hanging out with her instead. While we never said the word exclusive, I think the above reasons combined with the general relationship before she left are enough to assume exclusivity. Yeah, absolutely OP. Based on some comments here, I followed up with the friend that said that I should have an honest conversation. She told me that 10 guys would be on the low end and that her biggest concern that there was apparently at least one pregnancy scare that I didn't know about. I honestly don't know that that really changes much. It's less about the number for me and more about the fact that she seems incapable of recognizing why this was wrong or why I feel betrayed. Yeah, that's absolutely wild. And that's her problem, OP. She can figure it out. It doesn't take a genius to realize how awful that is. Thank you for all the helpful responses, even those that disagree with me. I will still be open to therapy if she is willing, but honestly, I feel like that would be more about us being successful co-parents and finding closure than saving our marriage. Yeah, definitely OP. Yeah, like the top comment says, 10 guys can no longer be described as a few mistakes. That is so unbelievably awful. Like, yeah, maybe it would be nice if she realized how awful that was and was genuinely sorry, but I still don't think that should save the relationship either. Like, oh, you cheated on me with 10 different guys? Like, I don't really care what you have to say now. It's over. You don't betray somebody like this over and over and over and over and then get to turn it back onto them and act like they're overreacting. OP is just about underreacting. OP is definitely not overreacting. Yeah, this comment, not wrong. Actually, after reading the post, she's disgusting. Good on you for leaving. And also, it doesn't matter how common this sort of stuff is. It should never, ever be normalized. Betraying somebody should never be normalized. And yeah, the trashy friends. Oh, it's so normal and so common. I can't believe you weren't doing it either. Hey, OP's wife joked about her dad coming after OP if OP started sleeping around with girls at their school. I'm pretty sure their attitude towards this was pretty clear back then, but now OP's the weird one for not cheating the entire time. And also, that is such a non-insult. Like, oh, you're so weird because you're not a cheater. Like, yeah, thank you. I'm not. Oh my God. I don't want to be either. And I can't believe the friends and family are saying that you're throwing away the relationship. No, you're not. The relationship was built on a foundation accumulation of lies. It never should have even started. You just happened to find out about it now. Yeah, this comment, not a big deal. She's trash. Good for you. Yeah, this comment too, not wrong. 20 years of lies. Yeah, I guess there's not really a lot that you can do, OP, but I feel like you underreacted. And the fact that she feels like she hasn't done anything wrong. OP, go and sleep with 10 women now. See how she likes it. Oh, it's no big deal. It didn't matter because we were long distance. You were 3 hours apart. That's not long distance. Okay, we need to move on. That was a ridiculous way to start the episode. Post number 2 says, am I wrong for being blindsided by a friend's birthday dinner that cost me $1,100? Birthday dinner for a friend and it cost $540 per person. My wife and I were invited to a major city to celebrate a friend's 40th. There were 2 days in the schedule, but we could only attend one because of my work schedule. We went to a fancy dinner and expected it to be over the top and expensive because it was their 40th birthday and they have high paying jobs and they like to splurge. We met everybody at dinner at a fancy restaurant and found out that it was family style 6-course meals. When the check came, our friend's wife put it all on her card and we assumed the bill would be split up after. We knew it was going to be expensive, but we were okay with it. Went out for drinks after and then slept at our hotel and drove back the next day. Today, our friend's wife tells us that the total minus tax and gratuity split between the 13 of us was $540 per person. We figured on the high end we'd spend maybe half of that for both of us. We really thought more like $300 total for both of us based on the quality of the food. I'm pretty offended that it wasn't communicated ahead of time that this meal was going to be a mortgage payment. What do I do here? Edit number 1, we expect to spend a lot of money going out with these friends. We've gone out several times where an evening costs us $250 to $300 per couple, but never anything like $1,100 for dinner. Edit number 2, thank you everybody for the comments. This got a much bigger response than I thought it would. I do want to respond to some common comments. We truly did not expect the host to pay for dinner. Based on previous events and dinners with the group, we expected to pay for our own meal and drinks. When the bill came, the host, birthday boy's wife, grabbed the bill and then paid for it with her card. We were surprised that it seemed like she was paying, but now a couple of days later she's sending out bills to the couples for their portion or even split of the dinner. It was not discussed that there would only be one check for the group. Some of our other friends who came with us and were in on all the same communications leading up to this were also completely surprised by the total amount of the meal. If it matters, they're very well off and they still got shocked. That is validating for me because they've been with us in the group for many dinners with this couple and also did not expect this outcome. They got a bill for both nights that totaled just shy of $2,000 for food and drinks on tabs that were paid at the time by the host couple. For those saying that we should have asked ahead of time, I guess this is where I get hung up. We were anticipating a range based on many meals with this group, including birthday dinners. Why would we reach out to the host and ask this isn't going to cost us more than $1,000, is it? When every past experience was substantially lower, like 60 to 70% less. We haven't asked for an itemized receipt yet, but we looked up the cost of the family style dinner per person. Based on what we ate and drank, our total would have come to right around $700. To be honest, I would have been surprised by that amount, but we were being asked to pay $400 more than that, and I think as many people pointed out, we're getting charged for everybody else's wine choices. We will either just send that amount or ask for an itemized receipt, as many have recommended. I believe our next course is as many recommended, to pay for what we had and then distance ourselves from these people, or just never accept another invitation. Edit number 3, my wife contacted the restaurant and it turns out that there's a minimum per person charge that works out to be $530 after tax for reservations the size of our group. That's $200 per person more than we consumed, and the host never told us about it, even when contacting us for payment. The host would have been aware prior to inviting us because she would have had to agree to it for the size of the group. The restaurant doesn't do reservations for that size party and has to make special arrangements. For anybody interested, here's an update. First off, if you're interested in the full story, please check the original post. My wife and I wish that we'd done more research, of course. We didn't because we've gone to plenty of expensive to us meals with this couple for anywhere from $100 to $300, with $300 being the absolute most we've ever spent, and have an expectation that our friends would communicate if something was going to be substantially different than what we're used to. Our mistake. The majority of the comments mirrored our feelings that this minimum or even the average ticket price of the restaurant should have been communicated by the host ahead of time, and the lack of communication is bizarre and pretty tacky. There were lots of comments saying that we should have looked up the menu, and obviously in hindsight we wish we had, but the reality is that even if we had looked at the menu, this was, unbeknownst to us, a special event, and our host had selected a prefix menu with a table minimum that they did not communicate to us or anybody else. Other guests in our group were also just as surprised by the final amount. Many other comments said not to pay them at all, which I could seriously not consider. Even though I am upset by the situation, I totally intended to pay our own way, just not be stuck paying for other people's expensive taste, which is why we ended up texting the host that we were very surprised by the total price, and we asked to see a copy of the receipt. To her credit, she sent it right away. It confirmed the minimum price for the table and that other others in the group had ordered very expensive wine and drinks, and that brought the overall bill up to and above the minimum. We added up our total, which hilariously comes to 666, so that's what we're sending them. Approximately $430 less than what they requested. I'm not sure where that leaves the friendship, but we will not be accepting dinner invitations anytime soon. My wife and I had a blast reading your responses, and we appreciate all of your perspectives. We're going to be cooking dinner at home for a while. Yeah, like this comment says, imagine thinking splitting a bill evenly is okay when it adds nearly $400 to somebody's total. Jesus Christ. Friendship definitely being reevaluated. Yeah, it's not like it didn't add much to their total. It was going to be 400 more. Okay, the next one says, am I wrong for leaving a date without telling him? I met a guy online, claimed to be 4 years older than me, but no big deal. I'm 24. We were interested in the same things and we got along well, so we decided to meet for a drink last weekend. I went to the bar and I was looking for him. Then I seen him, but he looked different, older. I went over and met him and said that he looks different than his picture. He said, oh yeah, those pictures are a few years old. I said, but you're 28, right? He said that he was actually 42, but age is just a number. Whoa, okay. I got the ick, so I said, I forgot my phone in the car and I left. He messaged me asking me where I was, and I said that I went home, that I'm not into older guys or being lied to. He said I was shallow and that's why he doesn't say his real age. No, it was because you lied. I thought the whole thing was funny, so I told my friend. She said that I'm mean for just leaving a date and not even telling him. That maybe he was a nice guy and I'm being judgmental because of his age. I'm not into guys that much older. People can do what they want, but it's not for me. Am I wrong for leaving? Well, like he sent you a message and you said what you said. You said you went home, I'm not into older guys or being lied to. So what, the alternative is that you would have said that to his face? I think the friend's got the wrong perspective on this. It's not the fact that he's older, it's the fact that he lied. Like a big lie too. And by saying that you got the ick OP, do you mean that you felt unsafe? Because yeah, if that's the case, I completely understand why you left. This comment says if they lie about one thing, they'll lie about something else. Yeah, and also calling OP shallow. And that's why he doesn't say his real age. OP's not shallow because of this. The issue is that this guy is a big liar. This comment says never feel bad about putting your safety first. People are going to say that you should be polite or whatever they might feel is socially acceptable. When young women are faced with situations where their spidey senses start tingling, it's not the time to be polite. That's the time to find the exit quick. You did good, OP. Yeah, definitely. And the comment below that, yeah, polite would be all well and good if he made it clear that he was 42 from the start. No, you're definitely not in the wrong. That's a massive lie, and to your face as well. And pretty fast, you felt like you were in a really uncomfortable situation. And I feel like that's fair enough too, because that's when alarm bells are gonna start ringing in your head. Like, okay, so do I trust anything that this guy is telling me? Who is this guy? What does he want with me? Why does he want to be with me? Why isn't he trying to get with somebody that's also in their 40s? And pretty soon you realize, oh, I need to get out of here. I do not feel like you're in the wrong for doing that, OP. Yeah, like this comment. No, you did good. Don't think another minute on it. Lying off the bat about an 18-year-old age difference is no bueno. This comment says he had it coming. Misrepresent yourself like that and you get what you get. It was totally your choice to stay or go. It's all fair. Yeah, I don't know if the friend is naive or just thinking about it from a completely different perspective, but no, I definitely don't feel like you're in the wrong. Maybe he was a nice guy and I'm being judgmental about his age. No, you're actually not. You've been lied to. What you signed up for was a 28-year-old guy. When you sit down and realize that he's 42, I'm pretty sure you're justified in getting out of there. And like that comment said, what did he expect? Like, oh yeah, well, that's understandable. Maybe I shouldn't have lied. It makes sense, doesn't it? The next one says, am I wrong for not immediately forgiving my wife for sexting another man? Oh, my faith in humanity. I'm sick of it dropping. My wife, 32 female, and I, 36 male, married 8 months ago. We dated for 2.5 years prior to getting married. Recently, we were on a vacation internationally, and occasionally she would let me use her phone to check on things because I don't have an international plan on my phone. Okay, so before we even go any further, if you're somebody's partner and you're sexting another man, there's the door. Get the hell out. That's not acceptable, OP. One day during the trip, I asked her if I could use her phone while she was taking a shower. When I had her phone in my hand, another man sent her an explicit message. I was surprised by the message coming through, and she was in the shower, so I clicked on it, and I saw messages going on for quite a few back and forth messages. As I briefly read the conversation, I saw messages that she was enthusiastically responding to the man's explicit offers, describing things that he wanted to do to her, and she responded to explicit things that she wanted to do to him. When she got out of the shower, I asked her who this person was. She said it was an old boyfriend that messages her every once in a while, and they've known each other for 12 years. She said that he lives in a different part of the world and they've never done anything anything in person, but they just have these explicit conversations every once in a while. Yuck, I'm so sick of reading about scummy cheaters. I asked her why she has these conversations with him, and she said that she likes the attention he gives her, and likes it when men talk about her like this. Some of the language would not be words that would come to my mind. Another reason I was shocked about this interaction was because some of the messages were right before times we were intimate, which felt really violating to me. I asked her why she did this, and she said she felt like I wasn't giving her attention that she needs. Wasn't giving her the attention that she needs. What you need are morals and decency, which was surprising to me because earlier that week she asked me to give her more attention, and when I did, like touching her back or kissing her while we were out and about on a vacation, she asked me to stop. I don't know what to do. How can I forgive her? Should I forgive her? Absolutely not. Yeah, this comment, are you married to the wrong person? Yeah. I also love how they're trying to frame it as OP's doing something wrong by not giving them enough attention. You're betraying your partner. You are in the wrong. Don't try and shift the blame onto OP because OP's not giving you enough attention. You communicate. You end things if you have to. This emotional cheating is not justified just because they're not giving you enough attention. Yeah, like this comment says, sounds like she was cheating the whole relationship. On the bright side, you get to divorce her before your lives get even more intertwined than it already is. Yeah, this comment, you're not wrong and divorce should be next. Not getting enough attention isn't a reason to cheat. She's telling you that she'll continue to do this, and you have to decide if being married to her is worth being constantly cheated on during your whole relationship. Yeah, this comment too, damn, and you just got married. Drop her as fast as you can. Yeah, she's terrible, OP, and they're trying to shift the blame onto you like it's your fault. I feel so sorry for you, OP, but you're gonna find somebody who's actually a good person and actually a good partner. This person is not. Oh, it's so annoying, and the mental gymnastics is so frustrating. OP's got a comment here. Update. I've spoken with an attorney and I'm making plans to move forward to separate. We met with a therapist. It was the initial meeting, and the therapist suggested that we have separate meetings with me and her. After the meeting with the therapist, my current wife sent me an article titled, "Why Women Cheat on Men They Love." Oh my god. I told her, in my opinion, if you were truly remorseful, you would send an article titled "How to Rebuild Trust After It's Broken" or something like that, rather than sending me an article that excuses your behavior. Yeah. She has since said that she's sorry and that she deleted the conversation and contact with this other man. At first I thought that was good, but now I don't have all the records of the conversations. I feel like she's sorry that she got caught. Yeah, definitely OP. Not necessarily sorry about having an inappropriate conversation with another man. After the vacation, I told her to go stay with her family that lives in the area because she was not welcome at my house. I'm overwhelmed by the responses to this post. Thank you for your advice as I navigate this unbelievable situation. This is truly never something that I could have imagined happening. Yeah, she's not sorry, OP. She's sorry that she got caught. You're 100% right. I know not everybody is a cheating piece of crap, and I know there are good people in the world, but man, we read about a lot of them. Also, it is really impressive how well you've handled this, OP. You've done a really good job here, and yeah, it's gonna feel so good to get away from this person. Trust me when I say you don't need them. I feel like staying with cheaters is an absolute no-go. Like, if your partner's a cheater, you're better off alone in every single case. It's like if you lived with a snake that bit you like every couple of days. Like, would I be better off staying with this snake that keeps on biting me? Or would I be better off being on my own and moving on? I feel like it's the exact same. The next one says, am I wrong for giving my girlfriend an ultimatum between me and her desire to have kids? I, 25 male, and my girlfriend, 22 female, have been dating for about 1.5 years since we were 24 and 20. So we grew a decent amount together. I love her and I can see her being my wife. So it really pains me to have to get to this. When we were first getting into the serious phase of our relationship, we agreed that we don't want kids before our late 20s or early 30s. Furthermore, she's going to be at med school this fall, so she wants to complete that before any consideration. I'm completely okay with that. I do want to be a father, just not in my 20s. I don't have anything against young parents, whether that's married or single. Good for you. I hope you're happy. I hope you and your kid have a fantastic life. I could not be. I can barely take care of myself sometimes and already know how much life changes when you have kids. So the idea of doing that in my mid-20s, I've got so many things that I want to do as a young person. I cannot do those things with kids. So imagine my shock when my girl, who's still in undergrad, comes up to me and tells me that she wants a baby, like ASAP. I was so floored. And the reason is that her 30-year-old sister welcomed twins and my girl's been really taking a liking to them. Now she wants kids of her own, like now. When I asked about our previous agreement, she told me I don't want teenagers running around the house when I'm in my 40s. I even asked about med school and she said that she'd go back in her 30s when the kids are a little older. I just don't know what the to say. I've expressed my disagreement to this idea so much already. I don't want to be a father before 30. She keeps telling me that it'll be better to raise them now since I'm young, as opposed to my mid-30s, which I don't agree with. with? Yeah, what is she talking about? You're not old when you're in your 30s. I'll still be active. She keeps trying to convince me, giving scenarios of me playing catch or tea party makeup with my hypothetical son or daughter. Like, again, that sounds like something that I want to do when I'm 35, not now. Bro, I was born in 1999. She was born in 2002. That's both practically yesterday. Her friends are also trying to convince her that she's only in a phase right now and will regret doing it in the next couple of years. After about weeks of this, I basically gave her an ultimatum last night. Either she waits a few more years or we're done. And that pains me because I really love her and I don't want to lose her. But we're not on the same page right now. She got really upset at the proposal of an ultimatum and has been at a friend's house since. I'm really hoping that it's short-term baby fever. No, you're absolutely not in the wrong. You two had an agreement and they're changing their mind. You're definitely not wrong here, OP. Yeah, like the top comment says, you did right. It's a very tough topic, but very important too. There's no way when both partners are so different of opinions. As painful as it is, you'd rather go separate ways. Either you'll be unhappy or your partner. Yeah, that's so wild. She sees her sister have babies and immediately she wants a baby. Come on, that's ridiculous. Oh, I saw a cute baby, so now I want one immediately. Yeah, that's not what you agreed on. Like, oh, the sister had babies and it's so exciting and there's so much attention and it's so fun. I want to have a baby right now. You are so not in the wrong, OP. You're being completely reasonable. We agreed that we don't want kids before our late 20s, early 30s. Like, yeah, you agreed on it. And also the stuff about med school, like, do that now. Don't say that you're gonna go and do that later. Like, I'm sure she likes the idea of having a baby, but I get the feeling that she's not actually ready to have one. She got really upset at the proposal of an ultimatum and has been at a friend's house since. So does she expect you to just do this? Surely not, right? Okay, the next one says, am I wrong for refusing to let my mum move into my home after retiring? I, 32 female, bought a 2-bedroom house last year that perfectly suits my needs. My mum, 60 female, is now retiring and wants to move from my childhood home to my city. She asked if she could have my extra bedroom to move in with me instead of getting her own condo. I love my mum, but I declined. I don't want to give up my guest room and personal space. That's completely fine, OP. My mum got upset arguing families should live together. She wants to be closer to me and I'm being unreasonable by not letting her move in. I suggested helping her look for an affordable 55+ community instead, but my mum won't entertain any other housing ideas. Well, that's her problem. If you're not comfortable with her moving in, that's completely fine. She insists that I've got plenty of room and should want her to live with me in retirement. She says that I'm abandoning her in her time of need. Wow, the guilt tripping here is wild. I feel guilty, but I'm not ready to have my mum move in at 32 when I finally have my own place. My brother thinks I'm selfish for not supporting mum's plan, but I don't think her retirement means I have to give up privacy in my own home. Am I wrong? Of course not. Yeah, this comment, but my mum won't entertain any other housing ideas. Well, looks like mum isn't moving, not the a-hole. Yeah, and also this comment, why is saying no selfish, but demanding to move in isn't? I won't even discuss the brother. This comment says, don't let her move in. You'll become her retirement plan and servant. You'll never get her out. Tell her to move in with your brother. OP said that the brother lives in a shared apartment. But yeah, none of this means that your mum has to live with you. You're being completely reasonable, OP. And also, I don't like how the mums were reacting to this. Guilt tripping you, trying to make you feel awful, telling you that you're being selfish and all this sort of stuff. This comment says, does she have money or something? If not, she should reconsider the retirement. This smells more like I don't want to work anymore, more than I want to live with my daughter. OP said, yeah, she can support herself. She just wants to move because her house is too big for her alone. Right, so it's not like you're the last possible option ever. She can live somewhere else, but he's making you feel like crap because you're not letting her live with you. OP, you're 32. Of course you want your independence and your own space. And you've got that. You bought a 2-bedroom house last year. You just bought this house. Of course you don't want your mum to move in. Like, no, you can't move in. And that's completely fine. The next one says, am I wrong for giving my friend freezer meals after she gave birth? My 28 female friend, 30 female, had a baby a week ago. And before she returns home, my husband, 49 male, and I decide to give her and her husband, 30s, freezer meals for approximately 6 weeks. We decided to give them that because we had our baby 6 months ago. My stepdaughter gave us freezer meals for a few weeks and it was a great help. My friend loved that detail and was delighted to have food prepared by my husband for more than a month because whenever my friends come home, he's the one who cooks and everybody loves it. That's such an unbelievably generous thing to do. But for the rest of our friends, the fact that we did that was invasive because that's something that their family is supposed to do and we're not their family. Oh God, okay. I know that we're not family and it was never my intention to invade their privacy or want to replace their family. We just wanted the help like my stepdaughter helped us. My husband and I spent many days planning the meals and desserts that we were going to cook for them, and it makes me feel so bad that somebody thinks we're just invading invading their privacy, or that giving them that was tacky because that's what some of our friends said it was. Am I wrong for giving that to her and her husband? Edit, wow, thank you for all the nice comments. It was my husband's idea and he was the one who planned everything, and I helped him a little, but I'll take the credit, lol. Yeah, like this comment says, I'm sorry, what? Free food from family and friends. Sign me up. You are good. Your other friends are being ridiculous. Yeah, completely ridiculous. Oh, you're invading their privacy. Is that what they said? Privacy? Yeah, invading their privacy. What are they talking about? Are they trying to make an issue where one doesn't even exist? Yeah, this comment. No, you're good. That's nice. Yeah, that's an unbelievably generous thing to do. You're definitely not wrong for doing that, OP. And yeah, if I were you, I'd be pretty iffy about those friends. And that's enough for today. Let's read something wholesome. My sister was very excited to take this picture in traffic today. Sun Wolf. That's so beautiful. Maybe I've read this one before. I can't really remember, but that's so cute. Look at the fluffy baby. And they got the number plate for their dog. That is so cute. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time today. That was a really fun episode. I was going to do an entitled people subreddit episode today, but I couldn't really find enough to read, so we did Am I Wrong? But yeah, today's episode was super fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. As always, subscribe if you want to, and the comment of the day today goes to Juno. Story 5. I'm sorry, I missed the entire thing because all I could do was stare at the beans. Those tiny baby kitty paws hanging off the cat tree. That gave me all the serotonin I needed for today. Yeah, the cats are so cute, aren't they? I feel like this is basically their YouTube channel now, and I'm completely fine with that. They're so beautiful. And yeah, thank you for the support, everybody. I'll see you in the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day. And you know what I'm about to say because I say it every single day. Bye!